Started playing piano when I was 3 years old.
Damn.
So I've been playing piano my whole life. So from that perspective, I mean, for as long as I can remember.
Perfect thing to start on.
I got, it was my aunt's piano, and she took it back when I was about 9. So for my 9th birthday, or for Christmas, I think, I had to wait till Christmas, got some money together and bought me a really nice synthesizer, a Yamaha W5 it was called. And it was actually a pretty powerful synth for back then. It had like sequencing and MIDI and programming and all kinds of shit, and 16 voices and their channels of whatever MIDI, obviously. Anyway, I'll stay away from that. But I really like dove into that, and that was sort of my beginning of producing at like 9 years old. By the time I'm 11 or 12, I'm renting equipment from the local music store and digital samplers, things like that. Also, when I was 10 or 11, my best friend would always have students staying at his house. And so we had a student from Japan, Aikio, and Aikio showed up with two 1200s, an MPC, and a crate of vinyl of like classic hip hop. And so that was like my lessons of DJing. So I learned how to DJ and scratch and mix. And Aikio taught us when I was like a 11-year-old kid. And so, yeah, so now by the time I'm 12, like I've been playing piano my whole life. I've been renting digital samplers. I love computers. I started programming DOS when I was 6 with my older cousins. And then I like, I'm renting all these things. 13, I'm making beats. I'm 14. I find out you can put programs on a fucking computer and make beats on a computer. Holy shit. And I can sample shit into this old fucking computer. Holy fuck. It was like the most life-changing experience. Grade 9 Parkdale Collegiate Talent Show. Me and Tech Man made a song, and my boy Dougal made a song. And that was like one of the first songs I ever made.
Is there videos of that?
And no, I wish there was. Grade 9 Talent Show. And that was like the first song. And then very shortly after that, Tech had another bunch of friends that were rapping. So by the time I'm like 16 now, I'm in a crew. We've got like a whole rap group called The Empire in Toronto. And we did some big shows, and like we were moving around, and we were like a thing. We were making money. We were selling CDs and doing all kinds of shit, hustling out the trunk. We'd go down an army of like 15 of us on the weekends and like mob out and like down like the equivalent to Times Square in New York kind of shit, like in Toronto. And
Dundas Square?
Yeah, and just like hand out CDs and sell CDs downtown. It was like Young and Dundas, basically,
Yeah.
And there was no Dundas Square those days. And
correction.
So like that whole world of like, making music and hustling and staying alive as a kid and trying to make money and, selling weed and packaging a dime with the CD downtown, trying to move the music with the weed and like all of that shit. And so like that was like very close. But like I never was one to be like, oh, I can't make music without weed. Like, I don't think that's the case for me. I think that's a cop-out. That's bullshit. Like, I make music because I make music. Would I rather smoke weed when I'm making music? Fuck yeah. Do I need it? I mean, yeah, I need it. Like, I need a first-class flight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I need a first-class flight?
That
Fuck
makes
no.
sense.
I'll sit my ass in economy if I have to. I'll get to where I need to go. And if I need to make music, I'll make fucking music without any weed. But yeah, like, come on.
With the right weed, it can be an enhancer.
And the good weed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it can be a bonus.
It's a huge bonus. And is it inspiring? Of course it's inspiring. And are those moments where you're just like high as fuck and you like experiment or try something you maybe wouldn't have tried or sample some weird fucking sound and then flip it and do it. Like that's also my process anyway. That like my process is doing unorthodox and shit and breaking rules and experimenting and just like throwing shit at the wall until it looks like something, And it's an interesting process, but you create these magical pieces where people are like, oh, that's genius. How did you think of that? And it's like, well, I didn't really think of that. I thought of this, and then I reversed it, and then I covered it with this, and then I threw it at that, and then I joined it with this, and then I reversed those again, and then I turned them upside down, and then I sprinkled this shit on it, and that's how I made it. But like, I didn't just make that final product.
One thing led to the next.
Yeah, it's the process, right? And so like that's always been how I operate. So like, yeah, when I'm smoking a joint, like, is that like helpful for that process? Fuck yeah. But like, is it necessary? Like, no, I'll get there. You know?
Regardless.
So you understand the point,
Absolutely.
I think it's an artistic cop-out to simply say that like, drugs are the reason why I do what I do. But I'm also not like a rapper who's like going into the booth and getting like high as a kite and like mumbling words until like you get a song out, right? Which is like how some rappers operate. And that wasn't a reference to mumble rappers, but so I just like make that clear. I love mumble rappers. I just said mumble because like literally that's just they're high as a kite and they're just trying to get the shit out, you know. And so from that perspective, I get that. Like that's a point where maybe as an artist that's like rapping, it's a factor, you know, or singing, it's a factor. Like you want to get lit before you sing, you want to have a shot, or you want you know what I'm saying? Like
loosen up a little bit.
Correct.
Like
let it flow. From that, for me as a producer, like I can still do what I got to do.
Yeah,
composing's different.
I think so. Yeah, and like a clear mind is helpful for those moments as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a balance. It's both.
Where does it go there from your teenage years into 18, 19, 20? When did you start realizing like I think I'm gonna do this music thing? I think this is it for me.
So like actually, and funny enough, I come from a family of entertainers. My father was a filmmaker. My mother's an actress. My grandfather was an actor. Like it goes all the way to my great grandmother was an actress in Canada. And I never wanted to do that because 99% of actors are unemployed. It's a great fact. I'm sure it's a prominent thing around here in LA too.
Welcome to LA.
Yeah. So that's like an unemployed in the form of acting.
They're all on strike right now.
Yeah. 100%. Not right now, but so I came in a very like unstable financial income household, where it's times maybe you make a little bit of money and the fridge is full, and times where no one's making any money and the fridge is empty. And I promised myself I would never put myself in a financial position where I couldn't guarantee my own safety. And I didn't want to be an entertainer for that reason, because it's a subjective business. Maybe they're going to like it, maybe they're not. And that's not all the way under your control. So I gave myself a rule, which was by the time I'm 25, I haven't figured this shit out, I'm going to school to be an engineer. And I wanted to be an electrical engineer, and which overlaps in music in a lot of ways. And that was my goal. So by the time I'm like 17, I'm still in the rap crew. 18, I'm still in the rap crew. We're doing our thing. 19 or 20, take some time off, fuck around, do whatever the hell I was doing as a kid. And then I go to college for music. I go for like 1 month, get my internship. My mentor's like, yeah, get out of school. You can't go to school. Come with me. And that was it. From there, I started working on like major label stuff. Never really looked back. So that's by the time I'm about 20. Now, by the time I'm 23, 24, meet Drake, we start doing our thing. By the time I'm 25, we blow up and make So Far Gone. So the year I'm
Nick
still
of time,
there,
huh?
24, I'm still like, man, me and Drizzy don't figure this shit out. I'm going to school.
Wow.
I'm not playing games.
And like, you were serious about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to feed myself. I'm not fucking around.
You saw how hard it can get and how stressful
I know how hard, yeah. And so that's when I'm 24.
Were you telling him that too? It was kind of like a conjoined effort?
I don't know how open I was with that information at the time, but I might have. Like it was something I was pretty passionate about. My mom knew for sure. I remember that much. Year I'm 25, we blew up with So Far Gone, and I was like, "Holy shit, it happened!" I'm 25, and we did it.
That project came pretty early on from you guys working together.
Yeah.
Was that the first project you guys
worked on? The first project we did together was Comeback Season.
Okay.
And that was the mixtape that we did before So Far Gone, which was a pretty substantial tape. It had 20-something songs on it. It was a lot of work. That took us a minute to put together.